Okay, Team Impact, good morning, good afternoon, whatever you're looking at. If you're at home, I hope you're feeling okay. If you're in school um, and you missed a class or whatever the scenario is, let's get after this thing today. We're going to talk about inequalities. Maybe if I turn that light on, it would help a little bit. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started here. Inequalities here. All right, an equation. All right, an equation uses an equal sign to show that both sides are equal, right? We've talked about this. We had an equation quiz, right? And inequality, Inequality, shows that both sides may not be equal, may not be equal, okay? All right. So we have a greater than sign. We've dealt with that. And we've had a less than sign. You've certainly dealt with that. But probably a new sign for you. All right. Excuse me. I got my signs backwards there. I apologize. We have a greater than sign. All right. And we have a less than sign. I was kind of lost my mind there for a minute. All right. Then we have a greater than and equal to sign, and we have a less than and equal to sign. Okay. So this is going to build into some good lessons coming down the line. Probably today, not too bad. All right. Anyway, 4 is less than 9. And I want you to get out of the idea the alligator eats the bigger number. This points to the smaller. I want you to know your signs. 5/10 is greater than 45 hundredths, right? When we compare decimals, we go left to right. 3 is less than 6. 1 and 4 hundredths is less than 1 and 4 tenths. Okay, so you want to compare 1, 1, 0, 4, that's greater. All right, so let's continue on down below. All right, use the variable as the starting point when reading an inequality. Example, x, 6 is less than or equal to x, can be rewritten as x is greater than or equal to 6. You'll notice that these two things are the same inequality. Okay, so when I put this equal to sign in, this changes the whole dynamic of this. All right, it adds another number to it. A value can be substituted to determine if the inequality is correct. All right, so, and I'm trying to pull this down here for a second. So anyway, they're giving us a value. We're going to plug it in for k. 11 plus 8, is that greater than or equal to 19? Well, let's see. This is 19. 19 is equal to 19. So yes, that is true. That's true. Okay. Next one up. 12 is greater than f. Well, is 12 greater than 3 if f is 3? The answer is false. Absolutely not. 13 for C. So if we substitute 13 for C, we're going to end up with that inequality. Is 13 minus, that is 1. Is 1 greater than 30? No, that is false. And you notice I'm always showing my work as I go through this. Okay, let me pull that up maybe for you a little bit. 16 is less than b minus 8. Well, let's substitute b with 22. 16, is that less than, well, what's 22 minus 8? Well, 22 minus 10 is 12. Add 2 back, we get 14. That's called the distributive property, and that's something that will help you in your head. Is 16 less than 14? No, that's false. False. All right, here we go. Now we have a fraction. So x over 12 is less than or equal to 3. So let's substitute 48 divided by 12. Is that less than or equal to 3? Well, 48 divided by 12 is 12 times what? 4 is 48. Is 4 less than or equal to 3? And certainly the answer is what? False. It's false. Last one. 10. 10 plus p is 5, less than or equal to 20. Well, this is 15. 15, is 15 less than or equal to 20? It's less than, so this is absolutely true. Okay, so as we look at these, you can see that. all right? And I actually skipped over these. I do that sometimes, all right? It's just more of the same down here, substituting the 5 for the x, and this is substituting, oh, we have that. 7 times 6, is that less than 45? Well, this is false, and this is true. All right, so sorry about that. Kind of went in reverse order there. Okay, so let's flip the page and get into some graphing here. When we take a look at the graphing, it's going to be a little bit different. So let me kind of get you situated here. All right, so all the shaded numbers are true or part of the solution set. Solution set, okay? Okay, so let's talk about this. We're going to do some graphing down here, and there's two kinds of circles that we're going to use. Anytime, and I'm going to kind of do this up here, anytime we use a less than sign or a greater than sign, okay, we're always going to have a circle that's empty. Anytime we use a less than or equal to or a greater than or equal to, we're always going to use a circle that's filled in because it includes that number. What do you mean, Mr. Mel? Well, let's go. Here we go. So a greater than sign. Here's my greater than sign. So if I was to graph using a greater than sign, I would circle the number and then I would draw an arrow to the right. Just as I spoke up here. And you're going to see how all this fits together down here. So a greater than or equal to sign. So I'm going to circle the number, fill in the circle, and draw an arrow to the right because any number, including that number and greater than that number, works. Okay, and I'll put the sign there as well. Okay. Now, conversely, a less than sign, again, we're going back to these sets. So we're going to go ahead and circle that, leave it empty, and we're going to go to the right. Going to go to the right. Less than or equal to, we could circle the number, fill it in because that number will work for the solution, and we will go to the left there. Okay, so anytime it has the equal sign underneath, and I did it again, all right, this is a less than or equal to. Anytime it has that equal sign underneath, the circle is full. Anytime it's just a straight inequality of greater than or less than, the circle is empty. Okay, all right. So let's do some graphing here, all right? All right, so K is greater than 11. So I'm going to go to 11 and I'm going to circle that number. Now, I'm not going to fill that in because 11 doesn't work for that solution, but any number greater than 11 will work. 12 is greater than 11, 13, and so on. If the circle is not filled in, if it's hollow, if it's empty, that number does not work for the solution. 11 doesn't work. Now, conversely, on number 8, 12 is greater than or equal to F. Now I have the equal to sign underneath. 12 will work for this solution. It will. So 12 is going to be greater than or equal to 12, but also any number greater than 12 will work here, right? So 13 works, 14, 15, 16, and so on. So that's why when there's a line there, we're incorporating the number that we circle, okay? D is less than 6. Circle 6, leave it empty, and we're going this way, okay? Because 6 does not work, but 5 does, 4 does, and so on, okay? All right. Go ahead and do these 3 on your own. Pause the video, all right, and do those, and then check your work when I'm done, or when you're done, excuse me, okay? Zero is less than or equal to B. 0, I have the line underneath, I fill it. It's less than or equal to. X is greater than or equal to 4.5. So 4.5 is right there. I circle it. I'm still filling it in. And I'm going to draw it that way. So I hope you were successful there. All right, let's continue on. Now we're going to come down here. We're going to write some inequalities, and then we're going to graph them. All right? So good stuff so far. Yep, new stuff is good stuff. All right, so the McDonald family spends no more than $150 for groceries each week. Now, when we write our inequality, we always want to try and write our a variable first. So I'm going to use X. All right, X. Now, and 150, it goes over here. So the McDonald family spends no more. So no more than 150 tells me they could spend 150. If they can spend 150, I'm going to put the line under it. That means 150 will work for this, but no more. So it's a less than. So X is less than or equal to 150. Okay, because I can spend 150, 140, 130, but I can't spend 160. So now I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to go ahead and write a few numbers in 150, 130, 110. So this would be 140, 130, 120, 110. Just for spacing surfaces or reasons, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to circle this number and fill it in because 150 will work for that. And I'm going to draw my arrow this way, right? Because any number, including 150 or less, works for that. Number 14. Jared earns at least $10 when mowing lawns, right? $10. So here's X, here's 10. At least 10. Yep, 10 works. Could he make 9? No. 8? No. But he could make 11, 12, and 13. So X is greater than or equal to 10. So now I'm just going to count by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And your interval can be anything you want. You can't be wrong with that. Okay. And I'm going to circle the number 10. I have the equal to underneath. I'm going to fill it in. And I'm going to draw the arrow that way. Yes, I am. And there it is. Next up's number 15. Jaslyn must score higher than 92 on her science test to make an A on her report card. So here's X, here's 92. Must score higher. Can't be 92. So X has to be greater than 92. So I don't know, let's go 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. There's no line underneath. I go and circle 92. It's empty, and I go that way. Last one here. All right, and you can pause the video and try this on your own. It takes Alex fewer than 15 minutes to walk to school. X and 15. Fewer than 15 means X is less than 15, right? Less than 15. And again, I'm going to go back to my interval of counting by fives. It just is a little bit different. Circle the 15, leave it empty, going that way, okay? And that's the graphing. So this is just the start. We're going to get into inequality equations and solve those, all right? Probably on Monday. All right, number 17. Callie says that the graph for the inequality 5 is greater than or equal to W will be the same as the graph for the inequality W is greater than or equal to 5. Do you agree or disagree with that? Okay. All right. So when we look at this, and the answer is going to be no. Why? Because the graph for 5 is greater than W, all right, will have a closed circle with the arrow pointing to the left. And the graph for W is greater than or equal to 5 will have a closed circle, but the arrow will be pointing to the right. So that's what we're looking on. So this means 5 is greater than or equal to W, all right, equals closed circle. Oops, sorry, can't spell here. Closed circle with arrow to, sorry, I have something in my eye, pointing to the left, And then W, okay, is greater than or equal to 5, equals closed circle still, right? With arrow to right. So the answer is no. Okay. Hope all that made sense. Good lesson today. Your homework is right here. Crank this out, and I'll see you tomorrow.